The way God built our family is through adoption. And in 2009, we were young professionals. Family had not happened for us yet.
I had just reached a season of praying that I was letting all of this go and giving it to God, and that if God's desire was for us to have to be a family in that way, that really at that point He was going to need to just drop a baby or drop a kid in our life that needed a family.
It was in the fall of 2009, and we got a phone call from a family member, and it was a real stressful, distressed situation, desperate and unsure what to do about a baby that was coming.
About 3 months later, our first daughter was born, and that was in February of 2010. At the year mark, I touched in with her birth mom and gave her an update with pictures, and found out she responded that she was expecting again and that her circumstances were still very dire. And so we offered to either help connect her with resources or to adopt this baby as well. And so just a couple weeks later, our second daughter, Caroline, was born. And then 18 months later, our third daughter was born, and she entered into foster care before we were aware of her, and that started our journey with foster care and the foster care system. We recognized pretty quickly that the strategies that we anticipated using with our kids really weren't working.
I'm Kim Carver.
And I'm Kristen Carver.
And we're the Carvers, obviously. Kristen attended a training at TCU. She came back home and was like, we are going to do this, and I need you to trust me. It's going to be very counterintuitive. And as she was kind of walking me through some of it, I thought, there's no way this is going to work. And it really didn't take long for us to reframe our everyday life experience and to minimize meltdowns and elevate relationship and connection.
Before we started TBRI, we were having episodes or meltdowns, if you will, nearly every day, and the episodes would last anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 or more hours. Those episodes dramatically decreased in aggression. That was the first part. And then as they developed language around it, then it became really conversations about frustration instead of destruction of property and harm to self and others. And functionally, the way that TBRI changed our family is it gave us our freedom back, because we were able to be with other families. We were able to be around our extended family without sort of overwhelming everyone. And our kids really are all three delightful conversationalists now. They really better than us have really good insight and mindfulness of their triggers and their feelings. They're great at using feeling words and telling us what they need and expressing that, and I attribute that to those foundations. I remember in my first training, Dr. Purvis asking if you wanted to be the coach or the warden, and that's always stuck with me because I really do want to be the coach. And so there are times that I hear myself correcting the kids, and I'll think, okay, you're the warden. What do you need to do to shift back into being the coach? And so it feels so much better at the end of the day that the correction happens out of a conversation instead of a showdown. And without connection, really the correcting principles are not effective.
Yeah, so you can't have it without connection. And then the whole purpose of the correcting principles is to elevate and preserve connection.
Yeah. So because I went through TBRI training initially before Kim did, I started implementing the strategies a little bit faster. And so one night, right after Kim had gotten back from practitioner training, he had put the girls to bed, and he came down and he was teary, and I was like, what's going on? Is everything okay? And he said that when he leaned down to kiss her goodnight, she put her hands on the sides of his cheeks and said, Daddy, I'm starting to really love you like I love Mama. And what she was saying is, I feel really safe with you now. And it's because we were adjusting our strategies. We were turning into coaches and not wardens. And even as a little bitty 2-year-old, 3-year-old, she was really feeling the difference between connecting and feeling like you feel safe and I want to be close to you. It was pretty amazing to me.
and all the validation that I needed as a dad to say, we got to keep going with this. This works. We're going to charge on.
The connection's so key. It really is the heart and soul of this model. And without connection, really the correcting principles are not effective. One thing that I would like to say to parents is give the same grace to yourself that you're giving to your kids, realizing that we all have our own stories and we're all bringing our own stuff to the table and doing the best we can, and when in doubt, lean into connecting, right? When you mess up on the correcting, just fall back hard in connecting. And my experience at least says that really is a strong place to land. So.
And that it's incredibly worth it.